When most people think of prayer, they picture someone with hands folded, eyes closed, asking the universe for help. They imagine waiting quietly for something outside themselves to swoop in and fix their problems. But this view misses something vital about the true nature of prayer, especially the kind of prayer taught through the practice of chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Prayer is not about becoming small and hoping for mercy. It is about becoming powerful and creating change. Think of it this way. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't just stare at the soil and wish really hard for a flower to appear. You water it. You make sure it gets sunlight. You pull away weeds that might choke it. The seed has everything it needs to become a flower, but you must create the right conditions. Prayer works the same way. Deep within you lies the seed of enlightenment, the same wisdom and life force that moves through all of existence. When you pray, you're not begging some distant power to notice you. You're watering that seed. You're pulling away the weeds of doubt and fear. You're actively creating the conditions for your life to bloom. Nichiren Daishonin wrote about this with remarkable clarity. In one of his letters, he explained that the practice of chanting is like polishing a mirror. When a mirror is covered in dust, it cannot reflect light. But the mirror itself hasn't changed. The capacity to reflect has always been there. All you need to do is wipe away the dust. Similarly, your life already contains infinite potential. Prayer doesn't add anything new to you. Instead, it removes the barriers that prevent your true nature from shining through. This might sound mysterious, but it's actually quite practical. Consider what happens when you face a difficult situation at work. You could sit around hoping things magically improve, or you could take action. But here's the thing that many people miss. Before you can take effective action, you need to change something inside yourself. If you approach a problem while feeling defeated, overwhelmed, or bitter, your actions will reflect that energy. You'll half-heartedly try solutions that don't work. You'll give up easily. You'll see obstacles everywhere and opportunities nowhere. But when you pray sincerely and actively, something shifts. You tap into a deeper source of courage and wisdom. You begin to see possibilities you couldn't see before. Your mind becomes clearer. Your determination grows stronger. And when you take action from this transformed state, your efforts become more effective. The Lotus Sutra teaches that all people possess the Buddha nature, which means everyone has access to supreme wisdom and compassion. Prayer awakens this nature within you, allowing it to guide your choices and actions. The key word here is active. Many spiritual practices encourage people to surrender their will and accept whatever comes. While acceptance has its place, the Buddhism taught by Nichiren emphasizes something different. It emphasizes taking responsibility for your life and actively working to improve it. When you chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, you're declaring your intention to fuse your life with the mystic law of cause and effect that governs the universe. You're aligning yourself with the fundamental rhythm of life itself. What does this mean in everyday terms? It means that prayer is not about asking someone else to solve your problems. It's about awakening the problem-solving power within yourself. It's about transforming your perspective so you can see solutions that were invisible before. It's about building the courage to take steps you were too afraid to take. And perhaps most importantly, it's about changing the fundamental energy you bring to each moment of your life. Think about how contagious emotions can be. When you walk into a room where everyone is laughing and happy, you naturally feel lighter. When you enter a space filled with tension and anger, you feel that heaviness too. In the same way, the energy you carry affects everyone around you. When you transform yourself through prayer, you don't just change your own life. You change your environment. You influence the people you interact with. You create ripples that spread outward in ways you might never fully see. Nichiren Daishonin often used the metaphor of fire and wood to explain this principle. He wrote that when you rub two sticks together with enough force and consistency, they produce fire. The fire isn't stored somewhere inside the wood, waiting to be released. It emerges from the friction, from the active effort. In the same way, enlightenment and wisdom aren't hidden somewhere deep inside you, waiting for the right prayer to unlock them. They emerge from your consistent, determined practice. They arise from the dynamic interaction between your sincere effort and the mystic law. This understanding completely changes how we approach challenges. Instead of feeling like victims of circumstance, we recognize ourselves as active participants in creating our reality. This doesn't mean we can control everything that happens to us. Life brings storms we didn't ask for and losses we couldn't prevent. But we can always control how we respond. We can always choose to transform poison into medicine, as Buddhist teachings describe. Prayer gives us the strength and wisdom to make that transformation. Consider the story of someone facing a serious illness. The passive approach would be to simply pray for healing and then wait anxiously to see what happens. The active approach means praying to summon the courage to face the illness, the wisdom to seek the best treatment, the determination to maintain healthy habits, and the life force to fight with everything you have. It means praying for the ability to encourage others who face similar struggles. It means transforming a personal crisis into an opportunity to demonstrate the power of the human spirit. The Lotus Sutra emphasizes that all people have the potential for enlightenment, regardless of their circumstances. No one is too broken, too lost, or too ordinary to access the wisdom within. This teaching is revolutionary because it places the power for transformation directly in your hands. You don't need to wait for some special blessing or permission. You don't need to be chosen by a higher authority. You simply need to begin the practice with sincerity and determination. But here's something crucial to understand. Active prayer doesn't mean forcing outcomes through sheer willpower. It's not about clenching your fists and demanding that the universe bend to your desires. That kind of approach comes from ego and usually leads to frustration. True active prayer comes from a deeper place. It's about opening yourself to the wisdom that flows through all life. It's about synchronizing your small will with the larger flow of cause and effect that governs existence. Nichiren Daishonin taught that when you practice correctly, you naturally begin to make better decisions. Your judgment improves. Your intuition sharpens. You find yourself in the right place at the right time more often. Some people call this luck or coincidence, but it's actually the result of your transformed state of life. When you're connected to your deepest wisdom, you unconsciously make choices that create positive causes. You naturally move towards situations that benefit you and away from those that don't. This is why prayer must be accompanied by action. Prayer alone, without corresponding action, is like having a map but never starting the journey. Action alone without prayer is like running forward blindly without knowing where you're going. The two work together. Prayer transforms your inner state. Action manifests that transformation in the physical world. Together, they create change that would be impossible through either one alone. Let's look at a practical example. Imagine you're struggling in a relationship. You could pray passively, asking for your partner to change or for the situation to magically improve. But active prayer means chanting to see your own role in the conflict clearly. It means praying for the wisdom to communicate better, the courage to be vulnerable, and the compassion to understand your partner's perspective. Then, based on the clarity and strength you gain through prayer, you take concrete actions. You have difficult conversations. You change unhealthy patterns. You show up differently. The transformation happens on multiple levels simultaneously. As you change internally through prayer, your external actions become more skillful. As your actions improve, they create better results, which reinforces your practice and deepens your faith. This positive cycle continues, creating momentum that carries you forward, even during difficult times. Buddhist teachings emphasize that everything in the universe is connected through cause and effect. Every thought, word, and action creates causes that will produce effects in the future. This might sound overwhelming at first. After all, We've all made countless mistakes. We've all created negative causes. But here's the beautiful part. Every moment is a new opportunity to create positive causes. Through sincere practice, you can transform the effects of past negative causes and create a brighter future. You're not trapped by your history. You're empowered to write a new story. Nichiren Daishonin often wrote about the concept of changing poison into medicine. This phrase captures the essence of active prayer perfectly. Life brings poison in many forms: disappointment, betrayal, failure, loss. You can't always prevent these bitter experiences, but through your practice, you can transform them into medicine. A painful rejection becomes the push you needed to pursue a better opportunity. A devastating loss becomes the catalyst for developing profound compassion. A humiliating failure becomes the teacher that shows you a wiser path. This transformation isn't automatic. It requires effort, determination, and consistent practice. It requires facing your problems head-on rather than avoiding them. It requires looking honestly at your weaknesses and working to overcome them. But this is what makes prayer active rather than passive. You're not waiting for someone else to fix things. You're taking responsibility for your growth and happiness. The Lotus Sutra contains a passage about a jewel sewn into the robe of a poor man. This man doesn't know the jewel is there, so he continues to suffer in poverty. But the jewel has been there all along, waiting to be discovered. In the same way, your life already contains infinite value and potential. Prayer is the process of discovering and polishing that jewel. It's about recognizing the treasure that exists within you right now, even if you can't see it yet. This recognition changes everything. When you know that wisdom and strength already exist within you, you stop looking for salvation outside yourself. You stop waiting for the perfect circumstances before you start living fully. You realize that the power to transform your life is available right now, in this moment, regardless of your current situation. All you need to do is tap into it through sincere practice and determined action. Some people worry that this teaching places too much burden on the individual. If we're responsible for transforming our lives, does that mean we should blame ourselves when things go wrong? Absolutely not. Buddhism teaches compassion above all else, including compassion for ourselves. The point isn't to judge or blame yourself for difficulties. The point is to recognize your power to respond, to grow, and to create positive change going forward. Past causes have created your current circumstances, but present causes will create your future. Every moment offers a fresh start. The practice of active prayer also helps you develop patience and perseverance. Not every prayer receives an immediate answer in the way you expect. Sometimes the answer comes quickly. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes the answer looks completely different from what you imagined. But when you maintain consistent practice, you build unshakable confidence in the process. You learn to trust that your sincere efforts will bear fruit, even when you can't see the results yet. Nichiren Daishonin compared the practice to the relationship between fire and wood. Even when you first start rubbing the sticks together, before any flame appears, the process is already working. Heat is building. Change is happening. Just because you can't see the fire yet doesn't mean your efforts are wasted. In the same way, every moment of sincere practice creates causes for positive change, even when immediate results aren't visible. This understanding helps you persist through difficult times. When you face obstacles that seem insurmountable, when prayers seem unanswered, when nothing appears to be changing, you can take heart in knowing that transformation is happening beneath the surface. Like seeds growing underground before they break through the soil, your efforts are creating change even when you can't see it yet. The ultimate goal of active prayer isn't just personal happiness, though that's certainly part of it. The deeper aim is to become a source of hope and inspiration for others. When you transform yourself through practice, you naturally want to help others do the same. You become living proof that change is possible. Your life becomes encouragement for those who struggle. This is the true meaning of transforming your surroundings, not by forcing others to change, but by being such a bright example that you inspire change in those around you. In the end, prayer as an active practice means taking full ownership of your life while remaining humble enough to learn and grow. It means recognizing that you already possess everything you need while staying hungry to develop that potential fully. It means facing challenges with courage while maintaining compassion for yourself and others. Most of all, it means understanding that every moment of sincere practice, every determined action, every step forward creates causes for a more fulfilling and meaningful life. The choice is always yours. You can wait passively, hoping circumstances will change on their own. Or you can pick up the practice, begin the work of inner transformation, and actively create the life you want to live. The path isn't always easy, but it's always available. The power isn't somewhere far away, waiting for you to find it. It's within you right now, waiting for you to awaken it through your sincere efforts. This is the essence of active prayer, not asking to be saved, but awakening the power to save yourself while helping others do the same.